Bethany Limley here. This is part 2 of the domestic violence video that I did earlier today. And yes, I know this is hard to not look at, but I can't help that. That's what happens when you're stressed out. Anyway, Bethany Limley here. Again, this is the second part of domestic violence awareness and child abuse awareness and gaslighting, emotional, mental abuse and stuff like that. I'm going to read off papers of my notes, and so here we go. What is emotional abuse? Emotional abuse is any type of abuse that involves the continued emotional mistreatment of a child and an adult. It happens with both. It's sometimes called psychological abuse. Emotional abuse can involve deliberately trying to scare, humiliate, isolate, or ignore a child and an adult. It does not just happen to a child, as most claim, but it also happens to adults. And in these videos that I am doing, I am also sharing some of my experiences and some of my issues that I've gone through, as you'll find that out in my first video. So this is part 2 from the first video. Emotional abuse can involve any of the following: verbal abuse, yelling at you, insulting you, or swearing at you. Rejection, constantly rejecting your thoughts, ideas, and opinions. Gaslighting, making you doubt your own feelings and thoughts, and even your sanity, by manipulating the truth. How emotional abuse affects a person. Long-term effects. Studies show that severe emotional abuse can be as powerful as physical abuse. Over time, you both can contribute to low self-esteem and depression. You may also develop anxiety. Difference between mental and emotional abuse. Emotional and psychological abuse may not leave physical marks, but they can be just as destructive as physical abuse, leading to anxiety, depression, and addiction. Means of control and a way for the abuser to feel superior, as Athens County Children's Services and all the CPS agencies that go under all these different names, the courts, it all is linked up to that, pretty much, for profit. The 4 types of abuse is physical, sexual, neglect, and emotional abuse. Emotional abuse: verbal, mental, and psychological. Sexual abuse, which is rape, molestation, pornography. Neglect: physical neglect, educational neglect. So this is going in, I'm explaining this in this paragraph about me and my kids, about how we were abused in those ways. So, I'm just practicing my amendment right and my constitutional right before they strip that away too, on exposing Athens County Children's Services and the court system for who they really, truly are. Athens County Children's Services abused me in all of these ways and physical abused me as a child. They almost killed me, and they also did human trafficked me out as a child. Athens County Children's Services in Ohio emotionally abused me as an adult as well. Athens County Children's Services also physically, emotionally, sexually abused and neglected my kids in their care, then pinned their wrongdoing of neglect on me to strip my rights away. They also been gaslighting and committing narcissist abuse with me and my kids. They would try to pin emotional abuse on me for exposing them and letting my kids know what really happened. Out of retaliation, they committed fraud, money laundering, submitted fraudulent evidence and pay neglect on me and to strip my rights away. Out of retaliation, discrimination, and violating the Disabilities Act to strip my rights away. Out of retaliation for exposing them and losing 6 cases on me for abuse, neglect, dependency. All of this is still abuse. So basically, they are not as innocent as a lot of people think. So just put it that way. And all this that I just read is emotional abuse. And they will try to get me for emotional and psychological abuse because I am exposing them for what they really are and for what they do and for the whole truth and nothing but the truth. And because I'm making videos so my kids can get a hold of them when they're old enough, or someone who knows my kids, who might see my kids, can tell my kids the truth. And they will try to say that I am emotionally or psychologically abusing when I am just simply exposing the truth and the discrimination and the fraud so people know the real truth and not what they say. So they will try to get you for emotional abuse if you expose them, but that's not much more they can freaking do. They already destroyed my life permanently and destroying my kid's life as we speak. So, just to get things straight, it's not emotional abuse because I'm exposing the real truth and what they really are about. There's a difference. And it's my amendment and my constitutional right to expose the truth of what they do. An abuser can be anyone. It can be someone you know, or someone you work with, or rent from. It could be a CPS agency, courts, law enforcement, nurse, partner, friend, family, counselor, a nurse, and a doctor. Any of those people can abuse you, or abuse your rights, or abuse their power. What is a cycle of emotional abuse? The legacy of emotional abuse. The 5 cycles codified in enmeshment, extreme overprotection, overindulgence, complete neglect, rage and rejection, and abandonment were first published in the Annals Journal of the American Psychotherapy Association in the fall of 2002. Athens County Children's Services in Ohio, the courts, Kate Edenfield, the paralegals, Sue Meeks, judges, Rob Driscoll, all committed extreme emotional abuse to me and my boys, Josiah and Dylan Limley. Josiah, which was born on 6/19/2016, and Dylan, which was born on 11/8/2019. And as well as extreme emotional abuse to me as well. They also did extreme neglect to my boys. They refused to pick his medicines up. They refused to get what he needs. They refused to do all that stuff. And I tried to give this stuff to them so he could have his medicine and everything. And they refused to do that. And they neglected his medical needs. For medical neglect to pin on me. As well as the fact that I changed Josiah's diaper before all this even happened, like 5-10 minutes before all this happened in 2018. The fact that he wet himself in Athens County Children's Services care, and they left him in a pissy diaper for 24 hours so they could pin neglect on me as well. And they used that in court too. Although they, as in Athens County Children's Services, were the ones who left him in a pissy diaper, which is neglect. All abuse, gaslighting, narcissist cannot cause, sorry, my mouth's getting dried. All abuse, gaslighting, narcissist abuse can and will cause severe psychological stress. Those who are vulnerable to abuse are children and adults who have sensory impairment, mental health issues, dementia, or learning disability of some sort. So I'm going to repeat that. The ones who are vulnerable to abuse are children and adults who have sensory impairment, mental health issues, dementia, or a learning disability of some sort. Athens County Children's Services committed all abuse to my boys and me as a child and drugged me and my kids, although there really was nothing wrong with us except abuse by the courts, the hospitals, and Athens County Children's Services in Ohio. Gaslighting is a form of both psychological and emotional abuse, which Athens County Children's Services, Rob Driscoll, their paralegal, Kaylee Edenfield, and all of them did gaslighting, which is still psychological and emotional abuse. And people wonder why I had CPTSD, clinically depressed, and anxiety. Well, because Children's Services caused it. Pretty much, yeah. Which is what ACCS, which is Athens County Children's Services, DHR, Department of Health Resources, DHS, DHHR, which is Department of Health and Human Resources, CPS, which is Child Protective Services, FCFS, which is Family Services, and I don't know what FS stands for, the FCYS, which is Family Community Youth Services, which is all some of the names that CPS agencies will go under, and there are some CPS agencies that are also named JFS, and CPS and JFS all linked up in the same database. Don't let them lie to you, because they are linked up in the same database, because they will manipulate you and make you believe that that's not the case when it is. More than half, 57% of women who were survivors of child abuse experienced domestic abuse as an adult, compared to 41% of men overall. Women were 5 times more likely to suffer sexual assault as an adult than men, 20% compared to 4%, and twice as likely to experience domestic abuse, 26% compared with 14%. And how to respond and take back control from a gaslighter. Speak up about the behavior. Remain confident in your visions of events. Focus on self-care and involve others. And me personally, I strongly recommend all you guys, if you've been a victim of gaslighting, what by Children's Services, the courts, your own parents, or anything, speak up about the behavior and list their names, so everyone know who they are, what they did, and so they can be forewarned ahead of time, and so they know how to better deal with them. So that's my number one option I would tell people to do. If you're a victim of gaslighting, speak up about the behavior and give their names. And Josh and Alicia Green, Athens County Children's Services, Athens County Courts, you name it, Rob Driscoll, all of them, my exes, all did narcissist abuse and gaslighting on me. There's one that has not done that, thankfully. But anyway, to continue. But love bombing is abuse. You want to know what love bombing is? Love bombing is, it happens when someone overwhelms you with loving words, actions, and behaviors as a manipulation technique. It is often used to win over your trust and affection so that they can meet a goal of theirs. So, just put this way, my exes, Wayne Allen Knott, Walter Thomas Wright, Norman Edward Pike, all will love bombing me. They were narcissists. They were gaslighting me constantly. As well as Children's Services in Athens County. They also did a lot of gaslighting and did narcissist abuse to me. And pretty much this is what I'm going to be talking about for the next couple of days. So the telltale signs that you could be the subject of manipulation, which is abuse. You feel fear and obligation. You're questioning yourself. There are strings attached. You notice the foot in the door and door in the face techniques. How do you know if you're in a toxic relationship? Persistent unhappiness, feeling sad, being disrespected against, my way or the highway type of deal, angry, anxiousness, isolation, and being ignored and not being listened to when you try to let the person, your significant other, your partner, or a friend know more about you. That's all signs of a toxic relationship, and if I was you, get the hell out of that while you have a chance. So this is the second part of the domestic violence awareness, the child abuse awareness, and everything else. So I'm going to be sharing this also to my YouTube channel, and I hope you guys will share my video and spread the word for part 2 of domestic violence, child abuse awareness. And I hope I inspire you guys to name your abusers with gaslighting and stuff on video and expose them. And there's difference, you gotta know for sure if they're really gaslighting you or trying to help you. Same with controlling, you gotta figure out if they're really trying to help you or trying to control you. So with my thing, I would tell like one of my exes, I was like, yo, listen, don't ever go back to the hoes that cheated on you, because you don't need that in your life. If I told that to somebody, they might take it as controlling or they might take it as advice. So when I'll be saying that to someone, it's not being control, it's just giving them advice because they don't need to be around that stuff. So anyway, I really hope this zit goes away, but I don't know, it really is painful. I hope it's a zit and not like MRSA or something. But anyway, I'm going to end this video and take care. Peace.